Oh, snap. Look at that.
Yeah. I always love that beat, that intro, the womp 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 womp.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, listening to it and not watching us live, you don't ever see that or hear it because it's a
We
different
cut it
intro.
out.
Yeah,
So
it's a
go to
different
the
intro.
YouTube channel where we post our recordings, and you can see it live there. Well, not
Or
live, I
no,
guess.
or just keep listening.
See it
Whatever.
after the fact.
You get a different intro, a different cool one. We don't make either, so it doesn't really matter. So,
Secrets, Alex.
huh? They don't need to know that. Secrets. If they're listening or watching this, they don't. They already have all the secrets.
Yep.
I would
What's on your
assume.
mug? What did I just miss?
What?
What does your mug say?
That's nothing important.
No, you have to show
It
it now. 'cause
literally
I'm staying for a
says
second.
it literally says something about me not knowing what to write on it. So that's what I
Fun
did.
times. Well,
Yeah.
how's it going, man? What's new? What's going on?
I am technically alive, so there's that.
I mean, that's good. That's always a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. How
Yep.
about you?
Yeah, I'm also technically alive.
Are you?
I apparently have very big bags under my eyes. Atlas didn't really sleep last night, so that was that.
No, it just looks like regular eyes to me. That's my life.
Baby life.
So you're saying I've had a baby for all my life?
Yeah, and you just have, been trying everything you can do to forget about it, but it's
I need a
always there.
second camera. Anyways, too bright to look at the light.
Oh no. You got to move the light or the camera.
Nah, well, I can't. Well, the two in the same. But not really. But yeah, so if you're here, which I mean, you may not be. I don't know. Maybe you just put this on in the background. Maybe you just wanted
Maybe.
to listen. And if you did, good for you. Yep.
These soothing voices will just talk at a really nice low level, just carrying you in nicely.
See, I don't get those sleep apps or the ASMR stuff. I don't get that. But to each their own. I mean, if that's for you, it's for you. It's just not necessarily
Indeed.
for me.
Yep. Well, today it's going to be a pretty short and sweet podcast. What do we want to? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
We got some gaming to get to, but there's some important things. If for those of you watching, you'll see a little banner along the bottom, a little feed, a little ticker, and it's saying something along the lines of spoilers. Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers. So for you listening as well, if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, you probably aren't going to want to listen to this special until after, because we saw No Way Home.
Yes, awesome. We did see it. Well, you go first, Matt. We'll get into my hypocrisy of life here.
Well, I mean, we've already posted on the Instas.
Yep.
Our
on the
tallied
Facebooks.
Review. I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, an 8.9?
It's an 8.9.
Yeah, 8.99.
Well, just an 8.9, but that's fine. I mean, if you really want to get logical, it was like 8.98. It was like 8.97 something.
Yeah.
Math,
No, Spider-Man No Way Home, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think, yes, it did live up to my expectations. It was one of those where I had a high expectation going into it, and that's usually like me starting to get concerned towards the start of the movie, because I'm like, it's not going to live up to it. And like, so rarely do movies live up to the expectations that sometimes the marketing can build up for it. And this was one of those that the marketing was really, really
bad
selling it. And I mean, I understand why you say it's bad, but it was good in that it really made me want to see it. It really made me believe
I think it was more that they gave away things.
They gave away too much.
Yeah, they said it, but they didn't show it, so that you put your mind to get it. So everyone was talking about it. Oh, it's gonna happen, and then I don't know if they leaked their own stuff or somebody else did.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, we'll
regardless of marketing, regardless of rumors and spoilers ahead, leaks, all that kind of stuff, all the things that I knew to expect going to it that turned out to be true, they were all delivered really, really well. It was handled very well. The movie did a great job with the story, with Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, kind of finishing this story arc. Like, really, he doesn't need to continue. Like, they could stop his movies there. I don't think they will. I think there's enough, evidence from how the post-credit scene went and so on that we will likely see more, but they could stop his story here, and that would be fine. They did a really good job of giving us the story and not doing it in the way that we've become very accustomed to with most Marvel and superhero stories, where it's always starting with their origin and then, you know, the thing happens that sets them up to become a hero. This Spider-Man, we came into meeting him as Spider-Man already. He wasn't becoming Spider-Man. He was already Spider-Man. But what I didn't really truthfully realize until the end of this movie, that this whole series was him becoming the Spider-Man we know and love. Until now, he was just kind of like, he was Spider-Man, but like things were kind of backwards. It didn't kick off with a loss of a family member. He was given a lot of tech from like Tony Stark, so he wasn't really having to be too responsible for his own suit making and whatnot. So he really like grew into Spider-Man and grew into the Peter Parker that we know and love. And by the end of this, yes, there is loss and there is certain lines that, you know, come again and again in the Spider-Man origins. Yeah, it was good. I really liked it. I gave it a 9.1. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Just
Tom
insane.
Holland was an excellent Spider-Man. Compared to Andrew Garfield, definitely better. Compared to Tobey Maguire, like they both have their you know, pluses and minuses. But the best Spider-Man is still Miles from Into the Spider-Verse. So
Doesn't
fight
count.
me.
It doesn't count because if I wanted to watch a cartoon, I just read a fucking comic book. Anyways, yeah, it was a good movie. It was so there's it was good. It was fun. It was nostalgic. I mean, we all knew it was coming at some points, and it was kind of like, okay. I I'm not a big fan of like crowd reactions. It kind of bothers me a little bit. It just takes you out of the film for me a little bit. That's why I hate watching movies with people, especially people who talk through movies. And it's like, fuck off. Like, come on now. Because the biggest reaction, not the biggest one, it was the loudest reaction that there wasn't the loudest one. Sorry, the loudest one I recognize was this is one of the big spoilers here. Was when they decided to get a lawyer, and all I can hear in the whole fucking theater, there was literally nobody else. Everyone was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, cool, awesome." All I hear is "Yes" from the same row that I'm in.
Are you trying to say it was further down the road or very close in the road to you?
Oh, it was further down the road, probably at like seat 2 or 3
interesting.
or something like that.
You know,
The
it's funny.
man's
I was
voice.
further down the row from you.
All I could hear. And I was like, oh, what a surprise. And then you never saw him again. It was hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. And then like some of this, it's clear that they, you know, at a point they just said, you know what, we're just gonna make it about the characters. We're not gonna care about certain other aspects because the CGI at some spots were just like, okay. Especially that last final scene, like, oh my god, what a mess that was. Like there was like this the nostalgic parts with the Spider-Mans and all the cool swip there, but like when you got into the larger shots, it was just what the fuck's going on here? It feels like they just kind of rushed those kind of together. I mean, like obviously that larger shot would have to be completely digitalized, but
Yeah.
it didn't feel so like like some of the other scenes, obviously when they're like running, when they've decided to run together, all of them, and then swing together, that was kind of cool. I don't know who was the lazy one and used two webs, but whatever. That was one of the other thing. It was really hard, and I mean it's obvious because I mean all their suits are the same, similar.
Yeah.
It was hard to depict at some points who was fighting who was unless they weren't using their voices. And
stuff.
Like
they did a good job of like matching the suits and the masks with like because they all had very distinct like eyes.
Yeah, but like from the behind look. And like from no,
you're totally
it's
right.
like so it's hard to tell who was fighting who at times.
Yeah.
Which is why they kept taking off their mask, which I found fucking hilarious too. But then why even put them on in the first place? Like realistically, everyone knows who you are at this point. But yeah, so that was like my biggest gripe was just some of the inconsistencies with some of the CGI, and then there were some story plot lines that just kind of faded off and kind of just like, why were they even there? Like the lizard one was like, okay, that was a nice little fanfare, I guess, but you saw maybe a minute of him.
Yeah, I think part of that was they probably would have given him more time if they got the original actor, but because they didn't get the original actor,
no, they got Ralph's. They got Ralph Fiennes, didn't they?
No, that was not him. They
Not
did
Ralph
not get the
Fiennes.
original actor for it, so it wasn't Ralph Fiennes.
That's
But no,
right.
they did not get the original actor for it. So I think the intent there was kind of just like have him in the background, but I think there was a plan to give him more time. And when they couldn't get the original actor, they were like, "Well, we got everybody else, so let's put the attention on everybody else."
Weird. No, he's credited to be him in No Way Home, the right actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rise Ifans.
I'm gonna have to look back because they never showed his actual face.
They did at the very end
as he was transforming out, but it was just for like a glimpse, and it didn't to me it didn't really look like him.
He's got a very weird face.
He does, yeah.
Because he's
we can find that out. We can fact check that, but
no, I just went to his IMDb and he's got No Way Home as a credit.
Interesting.
Because I don't think they would have done it if they didn't get him. And I think that was like their big thing. Because like even Tom Holland said, like if the multiverse didn't work out, if we didn't get everyone, they were gonna do a Spider-Man versus what's his name? Fuck. Not Kraken. What is his name? Craven. Craven the Hunter, who is getting his own movie, who will be played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Which is unique because he was one of, when the world was splitting up, and you can see all the characters like in the stars. The only ones I really saw were Craven the Hunter and Scorpion, but apparently there was you could see the original Rhino, like an actual suit of the Rhino, and there was somebody else, another version of somebody else out there. So like it could have been a lot more people in there. They're doing a lot more reshoots now for Doctor Strange because of this movie, because they want to bring more people in. Because they figure that's going to bring a lot more people. I'm like, you don't want to this movie made sense for having many people in it.
You don't want to overdo it.
You don't want to overdo it for the other ones. But anyways, Spider-Man No Way Home, it's a fun film. I mean, if you respect those characters and whatnot, so it was nice. It was nice to see them all together. Something that we knew was coming, but we didn't want to get our hopes up for it.
Yeah.
And
they delivered well. Like the intros of the characters. I do have to admit, I was in the bathroom when Andrew Garfield walked in. So I missed
idiot! You stupid. That's why you didn't see the first reaction when he came in. Then
I didn't know. So
it was a loud one when he first was like, "Oh my god!" I was like,
"Yeah,
shut up, people."
I saw Tobey Maguire come in. He aged quite a bit. He got old.
Well, yeah, he's old. Well, those movies are almost 20 years old now.
You do have to give it up for
20 years
Garfield. He had his retribution moment, which was really cool. Getting to see when he saves MJ in a very similar situation to how he lost Spider-Gwen or Gwen Stacy.
She would have never been Spiders, but yes, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. So he saved he saved MJ. And it kind of had his retribution there. So that was really cool. You could also tell he went to a really dark place after that. He started talking about how he wasn't holding his punches back anymore, which you never really got to see. And then you get to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man not holding his punches back with the Green Goblin at the end. And that was intense. There was some real emotion there. It was cool. Yeah. Good movie. It was a good movie. I do agree. I think, the CG at the end was okay at best. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't the top quality there.
It's just I'm happy with it. I just and somebody brought it up to me. My friend Chris brought it up to me. He's like, it brings up good points. Like, I just love how they don't finish things. Like, it's annoying that they don't finish things. Like, I understand it's to open more plot films for other films, but the whole idea is oh, I'm gonna come find you and tell you after, and he just doesn't. He finds her, obviously, but he never explains. I'm like, come on, man, just do it. Balls up. I understand why you're not doing it.
Yeah.
But also, go fuck yourself. Do what you're supposed to do.
That's just it. If there's gonna be a sequel, that gives them the opportunity to be like, oh, he needs to go get her back, or she's gonna start remembering because as we know,
this is what
Doctor Strange's wasn't perfect at eliminating all the things from the universe.
This is how they're gonna just give them bring in other girls like Gwen Stacy and bring in Norman Osborn and all those fucking guys because somebody had to buy I know they said Norman Osborn Tower doesn't exist. Oscorp doesn't exist yet,
Yep, yep.
but somebody had to buy Avengers Tower. So,
That's true.
and they know who
Makes you wonder
apparently,
who.
but they haven't said it.
Huh.
The only one that makes sense is
Fascinating.
Oscorp. So,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
Mhm.
see. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
his contract's over, so he could literally walk away if he wanted to. I'm sure he doesn't want to, but he also wants to at the same time because as an actor, how long can you stay as a character?
Yeah.
Especially a guy
I
his age he could like he's still learning, so like doing
mhm.
more types of films are going to give him a better career. But like it's not like this is a character that he can always come back to because he's gonna look young. He's gonna look like Tom. He's gonna have the Tom fucking um,
Cruise.
Cruise thing where he's gonna be young and short for the rest of his fucking life. Um,
Yeah.
so
Like
you don't want to get trapped
I
in the Tom Cruise world,
I'm
though.
a bit hit
Like
or miss when it comes to like when you have a role like that where you could conceivably make a career out of it, right? Like it is a career role. And you could, you know, have a job for life basically. And yeah, I always struggle with actors who like really get caught up in that. I really need to separate myself from this. I really need to distinguish myself. And I understand it's an art and they want to show their acting chops and all these things. And it's the same thing with like the Harry Potter actors like Daniel Radcliffe, who felt so strongly that he needed to go off and do all these really
I mean,
wacky, weird films after,
I
right?
want to say that's probably a little bit different because that was 10 years of their life. Like
Sure.
that was from when they were 10 to that. I think this one's a little bit less. Only like 2000 was the first one was 16. I think 2016. When they started
Is that
shooting
how
it.
Lady came in?
Who? Tom Holland?
Tom Holland?
I think so.
He
When
showed
was
up
our
in Civil War,
Civil
right?
War? Yeah. So I think that was 2016. I could be wrong. But,
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
let's find out. Civil War. Oh, can't find it.
2016 film. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that makes sense. So because then Spider-Man Home was I think it was 2017. Then
Yeah.
Far From Home was set 19.
That's
And
actually
then
a lot of Spider-Man in 5 years. Like
exactly. So I mean,
he
like
was in Civil War. He had 3 of his own movies. He was in Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame.
that's what I mean. Like he
Like
was playing that character straight for about 5 or 6 years.
yeah, that's 6
Plus,
films in 5 years. That's a lot.
like he did some other side films. So the guy's been busy. Like
Yeah.
I can't say he's not been. Like Chaos Walking, I watched a while ago. It was okay.
Got Uncharted coming out.
He's got Uncharted. He did that Cherry movie that was awful that I never watched, but apparently
I
everyone else
haven't
said it was
seen them.
awful.
Yeah.
It was a Russo film that fell apart. Apparently, it's just bad. But anyways, so we'll see. Like if he chooses to keep going with it, I'm sure at this point I wouldn't write another Spider-Man film for a while. I know they're gonna wanna. I know they're
Yeah, it's a
gonna push it.
moneymaker.
But I think give the character a break and let him, he can show up in other movies, and he's gonna
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Like if things keep taking place in New York, there's no way that he's the biggest character in New York not to show up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
when we saw spoilers again, like it says at the bottom, we see Kingpin at the bottom at the end of last week's Hawkeye. And that was bound to happen eventually. And now we saw Daredevil in this movie.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time till Marvel's like, okay, let's bring the Defenders in. They've already said they want to. They just don't know if they're going to bring the same actors. I know the guy who played Danny Rand probably is never going to come back.
I don't think anybody wants him back.
In the end of the second season, he wasn't too bad. I think the writing was not written for him. You know what I mean? Like the character they were going for was kind of off what he should have been.
Well, they were trying to make
it
a CW show.
Yeah,
it wasn't working.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll get Kristen Ritter back.
Alex is dying. Everybody got the sneezes.
Well, sneezes. That's not normal. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. And, speaking of, so Hawkeye last week, Kingpin shows up at the very, very, very end. So that timing was interesting. How the same week, the day before the release date of No Way Home, you see Kingpin, and then No Way Home, you see.
Well, see, that was
Charlie
funny because like the week that Kingpin showed up, Kevin Feige was out there saying and stuff, talking about because obviously Daredevil always gets brought up every time they talk. So yeah, and it was like announced that they want to do something with Daredevil. Matt Murdock, the guy who plays Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox,
Charlie
is
Cox.
going to
Yep.
be Daredevil whenever we do Daredevil going forward. We just don't know when that's going to be. And then, of course, the next week.
Day. The next day.
Well, I read that one the day after.
Okay.
The day after.
Sure.
I watched that. So, and then that following week is when Spider-Man came out. So,
yeah,
they know what they're doing. But
yeah, they do. Have you seen this week's Hawkeye? Today's Hawkeye, the finale.
Yes, the season finale.
So let's dive into some Hawkeye spoilers. The season finale. So obviously, if you're watching right now, you may not have had a chance to watch the show yet. So pause here, come back later, if you care. But Hawkeye was a good show. It was a good show.
It's all right. Yeah,
it
got better at the end, but yeah,
felt very like family Disney. Like they definitely didn't push it to the same kind of like maturity as you would get in a lot of the like films and even some of their other TV series. Like it wasn't as heavy hitting some of the stuff. But specifically, I just want to jump right to the end with Kingpin. Is this the end for Kingpin? Is he done? They turned the camera off.
They got away with this. Is how they get away with it. Well, we just watched him get shot in the chest by an arrow. Do you think a gun
in the chest by an arrow, driven over by a car, blown up?
Do we think a gun's gonna stop him? I think this is where they're gonna like bring in the mutants because, like, no, I'm just saying. Everyone says this every time, but with anything that happens like this, they always like, oh, it's the mutants. The mutants. Kingpin is not technically a mutant, but we don't know what they could choose with this because if he's a mutant that can just survive. Yeah, why not? But I don't think they're going to do anything in New York anymore unless they have the Kingpin, because he runs New York, and I think the biggest story would be Spider-Man, Daredevil take on Kingpin, or the Avengers take on Kingpin. Obviously, we know Kang is going to be the next big baddie, but who knows? We never know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
but we don't know what's coming up next, and we'll see what Doctor Strange really does because that can change everything too.
Yeah, I love that. What everybody was speculating after watching What If. Anybody who had seen What If, we all knew that, and we were all told it was canon in the MCU. And they showed us during that post-credit scene,
which is now on the
crossover.
On the internet. It's now it's an actual trailer now. It's out of Marvel released it today.
Awesome. So yeah, evil Doctor Strange from What If and our Doctor Strange are meeting up, and they are to do battle.
Is it? We don't know. They could just be like, you have to listen to me. Now we have to work together because of what happens in What If. So
true. Hard to say. Yeah, hard to say at what point in the timeline that evil Doctor Strange is entering. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it
exactly
after
the beginning
all
of the movie?
What If?
Who like maybe it's he's just because what's her face is getting married. Maybe she's getting married to the evil Doctor Strange. Who knows? We don't really know what's going on. Because it's clearly not that Doctor Strange because he's in the audience watching. He's got some weird hairline too.
Yeah.
But then we got Wanda coming in there, all being all crazy. We got what's her name? Oh God, what is her name? They show her in the trailer and they don't talk about her at all. Oh fuck, I'm gonna figure it out. It's something.
I don't know. I missed it.
She's Mexican. God damn it.
That helps a lot. I have no idea who you're referring to.
I know you wouldn't really. They call her Miss America, basically. What is her character name? God damn it! This is gonna bother me until I find her.
All right, let's find this article here. All right, I got The Verge up. Let's see what they have to say about this. All right. So we got
America Chavez. Fuck, I knew it. I knew it was that. Anyways, she's gonna be in the in Doctor Strange. She basically, we don't really know what she's gonna do, but she's apparently a big character in the MCU, and I was reading about her. But we'll see what she actually does.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she's supposed to be a big part of it, and in a lot of the trailer scenes, you see her.
Yeah.
She's the one with that jean jacket on with the star.
Okay.
Um, I don't really. I think she's like Captain America in a sense, but not really. I can't really find much about her.
I don't know anything about this character.
So she was raised by her mothers in a utopian parallel reality that is out of time and in the presence being known as the Demiurge. So she's
Hmm.
not from this timeline.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
her powers are superhuman strength and durability, power of flight. So
she's
already better than
Superman.
that Captain America.
She's
Yeah.
Superman.
Does she have laser eyes?
I don't know, maybe. Anyways, so yeah, she's supposed to be a big part of it. That's
Mm.
they've been kind of keeping her quiet,
Yeah.
but they did announce that she was going to be playing that character. Same with like um, Captain or Miss Marvel. Um, what's her face? I can't remember her name either, but the Middle Eastern girl from who's be playing her, and she's from Canada. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's nice. That will come out sooner or later.
Yep.
Let's see what is the next. What is
Yeah, I'm just looking up. So we got Doctor Strange, obviously, Multiverse of Madness, May 6th, 2022. Then we got Miss Marvel, the series,
yeah.
based on the Kamala Khan character.
Well, that was
And that starts summer of next year. Thor, Love, and Thunder, July 8th. Then we've got Phase 5 and beyond. So we head into the She-Hulk series next year. Black Panther
and
Wakanda
Moon Knight.
Forever in
Moon Knight's
November.
there.
The Marvels in February of 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Holiday 2022. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania, July of 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 2023. Fantastic Four, 2023. Blade, Captain America 4, Deadpool 3, Spider-Man 4 is a possibility. I don't actually know if these are all confirmed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because I didn't hear you talk about Morbius or anything in there. I know it's a Sony
yeah.
film, but
Yeah, I think this is just strictly the Marvel Studios movies.
yeah.
Moon Knight eventually.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
We saw this mini trailer for Moon Knight in
Yeah.
December on December Day or Disney Plus Day or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And going forward, Fantastic Four. So everyone's now all hyped about Fantastic Four because John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man franchise, is now redirecting that. So even though we don't know anything about it, so and there's been a leaked cast for Fantastic Four.
Oh, really?
It's not confirmed. It's not
Mm.
for sure. Let me just find out who it is. It was a weird grouping.
Yeah.
So I just gotta remember his name. So for Mr. Fantastic, I guess his name, I don't remember what his name is. They wanted what is the actor's name? Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Okay.
as Mr. Fantastic, and
Interesting.
then they want
That's
Seth Rogen as playing
huh.
the Thing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's been a. I'm surprised he hasn't been in a film yet, to be honest,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's such a big recognizable comedy name. But him as the Thing it wouldn't hurt, I guess, as long as it's not Jonah Hill. Then I don't really care. What is the and to play the Invisible Woman, they wanted
Kristen Bell.
Christian Bell. That was it. Yeah. I don't know who's the fire guy. I don't know his name. I just saw the picture of him, but I don't know who he is.
Chase Stokes. He's like the only name that I don't recognize on here.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really know. Oh, he's from Outer Banks. That's why I don't know him.
No idea.
So he's on the big show Outer Banks, and
Mm.
people love that show. I don't fucking know why, but I don't know. It's a bunch of rich white kids who steal stuff, I think, but
Okay.
that's what I get out of it. That's what I remember from the trailer.
Hmm.
A group of teenagers from the wrong side of the track stumble upon a treasure map that unearths a long buried treasure. So I wasn't right, but I wasn't wrong. Because if you look at the cast, there's 2 black people. Okay, I'll give them that. But the rest of it's all white. Literally very,
Hmm.
very white. Yeah, very, very white.
Yeah, it's interesting now. Like from what I'm reading, it says like this is almost most certainly fake, but would be
Yeah.
amazing, is how they're describing it.
Yeah. I think down to if it's been leaked, they're gonna be like, nah, we'll go with somebody else now. Well, let's pick
Yeah.
somebody else. Let's surprise them. I don't see everybody still wants fucking
Chris Pratt to play everyone.
well, Chris Pratt's already playing everyone. Why do we need him, right? They want what's her name? I am really bad with names right now. Clearly, like right now, I'd say like right now, like I'm never
Right in
bad
this
with names.
very moment.
um, John Krasinski and his wife, Emily Blunt. They want them, which I mean would make sense. I mean, but I don't see
That'd
them
be a
doing
good pairing.
I don't see them committing to a series like that for a long period of time, because they're both,
They both like to have control of the stuff that they're involved with. They're at that.
Well, that or like Emily Blunt's like this like a different as a drama actress more so now, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's hunting for that Oscar in the next few ones. And then John Krasinski's more of a writing guy now, and he still does his like action film like Jack Ryan and stuff, but he's more of the producer actor driving type directing.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah. So that's that. So we gotta wait to see what comes next. We don't have anything with Marvel until February.
Yeah. Got some time.
So what are we gonna talk about? I don't know. I mean,
I
watched Lost all season 3 of Lost in Space, so which is good. It was okay. It was an ending that they ended it kind of. Which they can open up to do another, because this was the last season for the Netflix show Lost in Space. But they left it open so they could do another like a spin-off with just the kid. Which makes sense. But I assume that show cost them a stupid amount of money, so that's probably why they stopped doing it. That show looks really, really good. That's why. And it was well written for the most part. But I mean, they got young actors, so with a lot, but they weren't the best actors in the world. But it was. I'm not surprised they canceled. They didn't cancel, but they ended it. Just because. Where else were they going to really go in my own mind? Because with this season, they really couldn't go anywhere else. What else did I watch?
The Witcher.
Oh yes, I watched all of The Witcher. Did you watch The Witcher?
I have not finished. So we're watching it like an episode a night kind of idea. So we're 5 episodes in, I want to say. How many are there? 8, 10?
I think there's 8. There's 8.
Okay. Yeah.
It was okay. It was, if you're a fan of the series and a fan of the game, I think you'll really enjoy it. I don't really know where they're going with this series. I feel a lot of the plot points are just like, they're there. Obviously, it's all about this girl, but I'm just
Ciri.
I'm just like,
from what I understand, it is following the books reasonably well. I have not read them, but from what I've heard from people who have, and James is actually reading them as we're going, she's saying like it's been fairly faithful to the source material.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Nobody needs a last season of Game of Thrones again, Alex. Nobody needs that.
No, but I mean that's what I'm thinking. Like this show is just feeling like Games of Thrones, right? And this list, especially this last season, a lot. And like, granted, like the castle from like the Witcher Castle, like I played 5 minutes of the first game or the third game, whatever the fuck it is, Witcher 3, whatever. I played like 10 minutes of it, and then I got tired and didn't play it ever again. It's exactly from the game. It looks exactly like it, like all the training situations and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. Like I can't say much without giving it away, so I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But even though this is a spoiler episode and I should be able to, but whatever.
Don't spoil it for me.
I do not know where. What? It's just so just so hard to explain without telling you what happens at the end. Because I just don't know. I do and I don't know where they're going with this. Because they leave it so open that they can do so many things, but if they do that, it's gonna get so confusing and muddled, in my opinion. But so why risk it and then take away from what brought people into The Witcher? And it's a whole fucking thing, man. It's just, and then the girl's acting is really fucking annoying. So, like Siri, like sometimes she just gets on your nerves. She's just like, girl, I get it, like, but like commit a little here. But that's just me. And like,
Fair enough.
I don't like, and the whole like down, like, god damn it, it's annoying because like you could just, I understand, like you saw that they've gone in like the elf and the leader of the North witches, whatever she is, she called not Francesca,
Yep.
and what's her face, Vanessa, or not Vanessa, Yennefer, have all agreed to do something, but not with each other. The Francesca and the elf have, but
Yeah.
Yennefer did not. She agreed to do something else stupid, which we all know where that's going to go, kind of. And you're just like, okay, we're playing this a little too much and nothing's happening of it. Something eventually happens, but like, oh, it's just so annoying when you haven't seen anything and like, I get mad about it. Anyways,
let's talk about stuff we have seen. The Wheel of Time.
Oh, for fuck's sake, let's get mad about that too. Okay,
their last
go
episode,
on.
I think it's going to the last episode, or is there 2 episodes left?
I don't know. I think there's 10 episodes, but that was episode 7, but I could be wrong.
Oh, there's 10? Interesting. Okay.
I thought there was. I could be wrong.
Well, everybody now knows who the dragon is, finally.
Which is such bullshit. We all knew he was, but they gave it to the... Oh, my God.
It was interesting, because... So, in the book, I found... It was much more obvious. And then, as the show started going...
I fucking knew it was him from the fucking first episode.
Well, yeah, I agree. I found the first 3 or 4 episodes...
One more episode. So, there is only one more episode.
Okay. So, yeah, there was... the first, 3, maybe 4 episodes, they were really focused on Rand's perspective. And then all of a sudden, for the last couple episodes, he's been just a side character. He hasn't gotten as much attention. And I was like, did they realize, after filming and editing those first 3 episodes, they're like, we're making this really obvious who the dragon is. Let's pull back from him for a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was so fucking annoyed. And first of all, the guy who plays Rand is a fucking stick. Like I understand maybe that's his character a little bit. Like he's supposed to be a little bit less, emotional, less about it. And then, but all his whole he's just fucking boring. And then when he does try to be emotional, you just can't help but laugh because you're like, are you fucking serious right now? Or you look like you're about to half laugh, half cry right now. I don't know what you're doing, man. That's why they need to stop. Anyways, I won't get into that. But and then they just kind of try to blow it on. Oh yeah, it's the girl who's gonna be it for and then all of a sudden she's not.
Yeah,
and now they're gonna break up, but they're not. And then the guy's in love with her, but he's lying to himself, and he's gonna turn into a wolf or something stupid. And then Matt this, Matt that, and they don't do anything about it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Fuck. But anyways.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. I'm happy with how they're, again, from the source material, they've done a reasonable
This is fucking Dune every fucking episode. I'm like, God damn it. Explain yourself.
A ton of stuff from the book. And I get it. The book is 750 pages, just the first book. And it's small writing. It is a long read. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of lore. They have dumbed it down a lot to be able to get it to the big screen. So, well, not even the big screen, just to the screen. Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job with what they had to actually get it over here to get it to a screenplay. And I'm fine with the liberties they've taken and the shortcuts they've taken with the characters and certain things like that. Things that are annoying me is that along the journey, these characters are supposed to be training and like learning from Lan how to fight, and they haven't had a lick of time training with him. It's all just like anytime they spent with him has been like literally traveling. So like they're heading into this big fight with the Dark One, and I feel like none of them have gotten any training.
Who was it? Yeah, they haven't. They haven't at all. And he can just shoot a bow out of fucking nowhere now.
Yeah.
Also, like the thing that bothered, like there's a lot of things that bother me in this episode, but like knocks on her door. Boom, I'm it. Okay, I believe you. Let's go. Fuck everyone else. All right. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you're just gonna
Yeah.
believe him. Like, what?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
here, you know what? This way, if he dies, she can be like, well, I didn't kill all the rest of them yet, so there's still a chance one of you could be the
Yeah,
killer
but
and bring
shouldn't
them.
she say she would have died too? I don't know. I can't remember if she said
Yeah.
that, but and then there was something else in that just like what the fuck was it? Oh, I can't. Oh, and then the fact that just like who told him his story about his dad?
Oh, his dad tells him it
Right.
on the mountain, which this happens in like at the beginning of the book. They actually tell you this at the beginning of the book.
Yeah, and you're just
For some
like,
reason they chose in here to tell you at the end of the first season.
and you're like, okay, we clearly already knew it was him from the first fucking episode. Why are you telling us this now?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I was born on a mountain. Blah, 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 blah. I've seen this mountain before.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like nobody caught that from the first episode, and if they did, it wasn't very big enough. And like I honestly remember him saying that, but that's because the actual like vocabulary used in this show have been very simplistic that it's so easy to remember what they're saying. In my opinion, like they're not the storytelling other than Marine's, like the way she speaks. Everyone else speaks really plainly and like
agreed. Yeah, they've done a good
boringly.
job of making it like easy to listen to and
Yeah, but
retain
that's
what
kind of
people
like in a
say.
show like this where like you have characters who are supposed to be so magical and
Mystical.
so intelligent
Yeah.
that the words are so simplistic, and it's just like when they were in the castle they were speaking a little bit more over and over a bit, but I just felt like it was written that way because it was a ceremonial thing that they were talking, like why they were talking that way. But I'm like,
and I mean, again, none of that happens in the book, at least not in the first book.
well, they do say I did read that they're following parts of one, parts of another one, and parts of another one.
There's stuff that happens later in the series that you find out things that were happening at the same time as the events in the first book, so they're just doing it all together, which I get. Like nobody wants to watch flashbacks, later on to fill in stories, so it's fine.
And there's still no real fucking dragon, so I'm a little pissed about it, but whatever. Like put a dragon in like that dark spells or whatever, that dark hallway they were in. Like, oh, what is that? Like, they did better creatures in the fucking The Witcher, which I mean, I get The Witcher's about creatures, but
it's all about monsters. Yeah.
Which when you get to the final episode, I have a lot of gripes about it, but like I'm not saying it was a bad show. I'm just saying. Well, it's my job to play the devil's advocate here because Matt likes everything and I have to play the other side. It's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I ripped you apart for it. Anyways, I gotta play the opposite. Even if I don't truly believe it. Most of the time I do though, but we'll try.
Yeah, but like Batman's definitely the best superhero.
Yeah, obviously. That one you can't fight though. That's just speaking truth. When you're speaking truth, I agree with you. Like, whatever. Anyways, that's coming up. I mean, this week we got not much else. We got Christmas. You so gratefully gave me a game to play that I will play eventually. Guardians of the
winner of best story, I think, at the Game Awards.
Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. So
I'll play up your alley. I also purchased Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
Cut, so I'll play that eventually.
Nice.
I gotta play Greedfall. I gotta finish it. I started it, never finished it. I got time on my hands these days, so I will.
It's funny that you picked up Ghost because I was tempted to buy that one, but then I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely like that. The story-based games are like,
and there's choices to be made in there, so I'll like it.
Yeah,
like, it's got interactive choices and some stuff. So I appreciate that. But no, I gave I got a card a while back, so I just used it up. And like the deals on
Nice.
PS5 right now or a PlayStation Store right now is pretty big. Like you can get Deathloop for 50% off, so $40 in Canada. So that's a really good
sweet
deal
for a game that got a lot of awards.
Yeah, and then you got Kenta. That's up to I think 30 or 40% off as well. The deluxe edition is I think $47, while the regular edition is just $37. So it's not too bad. It's a really good deal if you've really been trying to play it for a while. I mean, It Takes Two Game of the Year awards on fucking for like $20 too. Fucking stupid.
Play it on Xbox Game Pass like I am.
Yeah. yeah. And then GTA 5 is $20. So there's that. I don't remember what else deals there were out there. There were some other ones. Which is cool because Ubisoft actually released a DLC for Odyssey and the new one, Valhalla. So they're in sync with each other. And if you play the game, you'll see why. But there's one you have to play the Odyssey one first, and then the second one gets unlocked when you play with Valhalla. So I might check that out at some point. But
that's cool.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's because it's the two characters. Without really spoiling anything, is the two characters meet. So that's kind of a cool. That's like the first time that's ever really has happened in.
Didn't Altair and Ezio meet?
Yeah, that's different though. That's different. That's the ending of a storyline. That's the end of that was the end of Ezio's story, right? Like it was at the very end. Now they don't do that. Like every game is just a new character.
Right.
Like the first Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 4, I think were all the same. Where Ezio or Enzo, right? Yeah, because Enzo did it from like 2 to 3, and then the first one was
first one was Altair.
Yeah, and then
the second one was Ezio, and he was Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood,
and then the third, not 3.
3 was Connor, right?
3 was the native one. So like 3 is when they restarted doing new guys for everyone.
Yeah,
because there's Brotherhood, Unite, and all that other stuff in there.
Yeah, Ezio was the only one that had like 3 games.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So, yeah, and like the sides outside of the Animus stories are very short, but they're there and they're kind of interesting. They kind of blend in with what's going on in the Animus, obviously.
Sure.
Especially in Odyssey. Odyssey, they're using the Animus to find something that is used in the game by the character that they're doing. Anyways, so we'll leave it there.
Nice.
We hope everyone has a very happy Christmas.
Yeah.
I wish I had the video of my nephew getting his Xbox Series X.
Oh, that would have been funny. Good. Did you record it?
No, I think my sister did, but I don't think she gave it to me. But he was pretty excited. So I see many other kids didn't care about the box at all. So
yeah.
Good for him though. So yeah. So everyone have a good Christmas, happy holidays, be safe. Unlike me, well, I'm safe. I wasn't for a bit there though.
No,
but that could have came from anywhere, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, what else we got? That's it. We'll be back next week. We're gonna do some gaming now, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Bye now. Bye.
Smell you later.